You stupid peasants.
Don't say anything about the business on air. First thing
It's not
you
on
say.
air. I'm editing that out. I'm allowed to say what I want to say because I'm Mr. Producer. Just the way the cookie crumbles. When you have my skills, you can do what you want.
You got to sacrifice some things like your own words. Which is the topic of today's episode. Sacrifice. Sacrificing a lot lately in life. It's been good. Sacrifice is good, no matter what people tell you. Be selfish. And you got to be selfish, be selfless sometimes in life. Alex and me are learning this quite quickly. I know Alex is enjoying the suffering in the minute of having 3 hours sleep every night.
I fucking love it.
But it's giving you superpower to do what you want, as you said to me about 36
discipline equals
seconds.
freedom. This is living proof. I could work through the night and know that I'll still get up tomorrow. That's all that matters.
How
I
are
need to
you
be closer to this?
How are you free?
What do you mean, how am I free?
How are you free? How is discipline freed you, Alex?
Because I know I'll do what I say I'm going to do. So I know that I'm free to do whatever I want tomorrow, because if I want to do it, I'll do it.
Do you know what I find interesting, right, is the psychology behind sacrifice. So sacrifice only exists because of the fear of missing out. But if you
you'll have to explain that. I don't even know if I agree with that.
So people only view sacrifice as an actual thing because they think that if they sacrifice, say for instance you sacrificed Met Bar for 9 hours sleep, you view it as a sacrifice because you'd think that if you went to Met Bar you'd be having some sort of crazy good time.
No, that's complete bullshit.
How?
I sacrificed it for the benefit of sleep, it's not a sacrifice because I'm missing out. I'm sacrificing Met Bar, and I'm not going to miss it because I'm sacrificing it because I know that sleep is better for me. So I would miss out on sleep. My fear of missing out on sleep is the reason why I may not sacrifice it. So I think you've got that completely wrong.
No, I think it's correct.
No, it's not, because I'm not scared of missing Met Bar when I sacrifice it.
I wasn't on about you. I was on about...
Well, you were.
Just
you said
No, I was just on about a general example. People only view it as a sacrifice because they think that if they're missing out on something massive, when really you're not. You're investing. Every time you sacrifice, you're investing into your future. It's like when you say no to other people, you say yes to yourself, which is a phrase that's thrown around quite a lot. And that's what I think sacrifice is.
I disagree. I just think you're chatting shit now.
Why? What do you think then?
I've just told you. I don't think it's a fear of missing out. Because you don't miss out. You're just sacrificing for a better future. That's it. Simple as that.
Well, technically, you don't miss out on anything because if you
it's
don't
not fear of missing out. It's just It's just getting rid of an instant gratification. You don't miss out on it.
Well, psychologically, there is that thought that you are going to miss out.
No,
on things.
because I don't feel like I'm missing out. Because you just said people feel like they're missing out, and I'm a killer for instant gratification, and I haven't missed anything. It's just not true.
Yeah, but some people will. Some people
might, yeah, but most people won't.
I'm talking generally here. Some people will genuinely view sacrifices hard because they're thinking they're going to miss out on things when really you're not missing out on anything.
But that's not the essence of sacrifice.
That's what I view it as.
It's not the essence of sacrifice. It's a small part of what people might think when it comes to sacrificing something. The reason they sacrifice, or the reason sacrifice is a thing, isn't because people fear missing out. It's the sacrifice because it leads to something better. That's where the definition comes from. Sacrificing something, the only reason you would sacrifice something is for the purpose of the greater good. Has nothing to do with fear or missing on anything. That's just a small part of it, which some people may feel.
It is a part of it, though, and obviously...
Yeah, it's a part of it.
I haven't planned this episode at all, and we haven't actually planned this, so I haven't had time to look into it.
You don't need to. If you know, I literally made a video course about this. You can see in the B Scene Content Lab. Because you shouldn't need preparation. You shouldn't need
First
a script.
thing you said, don't mention B Scene, don't mention this.
If you know about
that.
something, you're passionate about something, you should be able to sit here and talk about it all
Yeah,
night.
that's why I'm telling you about sacrifice, how I view it. Do you think you have to feel something for it to be a sacrifice, or do you think that if it was that big of a sacrifice, you wouldn't feel it?
It's subjective. If you don't sacrifice something, that isn't something that you're giving up. You haven't had to sacrifice cigarettes because you don't smoke.
That's true.
So it's subjective. For me, that was a sacrifice for the betterment of my health. You didn't smoke, so you didn't need to give that up.
Okay.
So it's not the same for both of us. You sacrificing something completely different to me would have a different effect. Like I could sacrifice fags and that's a big deal for me. But you're not sacrificing them because you didn't have them in your life in the first place.
Okay. So let me pose a question to you then. What is your biggest piece of advice for people who want to cut things out that they find hard? Like, you were saying about cigarettes, but they don't have the mental strength to do it. I know you're just going to say, just do it. But
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, do what the fuck you want.
Right.
Just accept that if you don't give things up that are bad for you, then enjoy poverty. Enjoy being a weak piece of shit. Because that's what the future will hold for you. And that's the reality that I've come to terms with. If I kept drinking every weekend, my life would end up shit. If I kept smoking, I wouldn't be able to walk up a flight of stairs. And now I can go on the Stairmaster on level 6 for 45 minutes and I'm still going. I couldn't do that 3 weeks ago. Right? And I always knew this. And that was the pathetic thing about it, is that I deliberately kept doing things that were bad for me. I wouldn't sacrifice them knowing they have consequences. People aren't stupid. They know what the consequences of their actions are. So there's no advice. If you want to give something up, do it. If you don't. But fuck me. Just accept the consequences to your actions, because that's all you have.
That's something I was going to say as well. I was going to say, if you don't have the will to do it, you're going to have to accept.
If you haven't got the mental strength, then you have
it.
to build the mental strength. How do you do that? By just doing.
Small scale reps.
No,
Progressive
just do what you
overload.
like. I've all of a sudden gone from sleeping 8 hours, never thinking I'd be able to do this and that, to sleeping like 4 or 5 hours a night, just because I need to get shit done. And I'm as fulfilled as I've ever been.
Yeah.
And there's no one that can outwork me at the moment. Not even Josh Dexter, as hard that is to say. I don't think he's outworking me at the moment. I think he's got more balance in his life. I think I'm outworking everyone. And that's come from the mental strength that I've built, knowing that if I'm going to do something, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to fucking do it. Because I've sacrificed everything. I hardly have any friends anymore. I've cut everyone off. I've given up everything
Good.
for my future. And literally not a single human being on this earth can stop me now. And that's how I feel. And if you want to feel that, then you've just got to give it all up and do it now and stop moaning and don't slowly get off the fags. Just fucking stop, because it's the only way you'll stop.
That's good coming from you, because I remember when you were like,
yeah, I was going to get on the crack pipe to slowly get off
you're
it.
like, I need to go on the Lost Mary to
No,
get
I
off
never.
it.
Don't say that as if I actually said that. Like, this is Jesus Christ. That's fucking hefty. That.
Yeah, you would. To be fair, I'm actually quite proud as well of you for giving it all up, because the amount of conversations we've had over and over again about you doing it and hasn't worked out. But now I feel you.
Yeah, but that's
it's
7,
different.
8 years of habitual programming. It's hard to explain what that does to you. And I understand what it does to you. And I understand everybody who says, yeah, but it's not that easy. No, it's not easy.
It's not
But I
supposed to
wouldn't
be.
have the fulfilled... Like, I feel like I've got fucking lava running through my body. That's how fucking... Oh, yeah. Honestly, it's 10 o'clock. I've been up since fucking 4:30 anyway. I didn't get up at 4:30, but I couldn't
You
sleep.
got up at
'cause it was hot.
5:15.
I got up to bed at 5:15, yeah. Sorry, I lied in bed for 45 minutes on my phone. Oops.
Oops.
But honestly, this feeling has come from, I don't know, just the sacrifice. That's literally it. Me saying, I'm going to stop doing something I don't know if I can stop doing. And on the other end, I'm going to be better. And doing that every single day. And the only reason I feel fulfilled is because every day it's a challenge. If all of a sudden I was like, I can't be asked for a drink. There's no achievement in the sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice anymore.
It's just
It's
normality.
like if my view on cigarettes becomes the same as yours, I'm not sacrificing that because all of a sudden I don't want it. It's the fact that I want these things and choose to not have them is where the fulfillment comes from, and that's discipline. That's really, really loud. That's the discipline, and discipline equals freedom. So I am free now because I know that I can do whatever the fuck I want, and if I want a drink, I can have a drink. I haven't tested the water yet with what I'm like with consuming alcohol yet. The first time I'm going to do that is with my business mentor. So if I'm mentorless in 2 weeks, you know what's
why.
happened.
You know why. Or if you're still in Marbella, you know why.
Yeah, if I'm in an afters in Mauve Bay, yeah.
Marbella. No, but I think you've got without sacrifice, there's no fulfillment. And
Do me a
we've
favour,
been
stop
over
there.
this.
Turn that camera off and find another SD card. I'm not finishing this conversation. We've only got 2 minutes left. So.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, about sacrificing. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sacrifice. Give it all up, boys and girls. I just don't know. I think I'm probably like unique. I keep having a go with you, but this sounds really offensive. You're gonna have to listen to me, but I just don't think.
Fucking
I don't think you have the minerals for like deep discipline like I do. I think you're just built different.
Brother, you've had
wait. You
you've
need to
had
listen to
3
me.
weeks
You
of
need to
being
listen to me.
clean.
You need to listen to me. Right?
No, because if I listen to you, it
No,
turns,
because
into a 55-minute.
I haven't
Turns
made
into
my
a
point.
55-minute pounding of my verb.
I haven't even
verbal
made my
ass.
point. You haven't allowed me to even make my point. So
You've got the hook there.
Yeah, I'll hook whatever.
The
I
main
want.
body is just going to be more than the hook. So please carry on.
I can't remember what I was saying. You got to let me
I've
finish.
got the deep discipline that you've got.
No, you haven't. You genuinely haven't. Like you said, you're going to be at the gym at 6 this morning. You weren't. Whereas I wouldn't allow.
I never
myself
said I was
to
going to
do
be at the
it.
gym.
Yeah,
at
you did.
6
You told me
o'clock,
yesterday. Yeah, done easy because you were going to come here for half 7. You said you were going to do cardio in the morning before that. So you told me you'd be there at 6. You weren't.
Which we didn't. We didn't do anything after.
No,
it,
because
so
I
wasn't
told
there.
you at like 7 o'clock that I needed to cancel it. That's why it wasn't agreed last night. But what my point is, I think you'd much rather do like a little bit of work every day. I don't know. I just think you like. I don't think you could do the 16 hours multiple days in a row. I think you just had to blow up. If I'm being completely honest, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying I'm built so different. Where I think if I'm gonna relax, I don't need to do that in a day. I need to do that over a couple of days. So, for example, I've noticed that I've been thriving the past few weeks. I'm not. This isn't a bad thing. It sounds bad, I promise, but it's not as bad as it sounds. Because for me, we're going to Marbella, right? That's a week where it's basically not working, even though it is working. Like the fucking shit that I've been doing the past 3 weeks, it doesn't matter. But I think what I need to do, instead of getting 7-8 hours sleep and then finding balance and making sure I've got time for all parts of my life, sacrifice everything, literally everything, including sleep, everything, all enjoyment. I give up fags, drink, sleep, nice food, socialization, all my friends in one go. And do you know, I've never been happier. Because I'm conquering something. I'm conquering the earth. That's what it feels like. I feel like I'm in my own world and I'm conquering the earth. And I think people like me need to channel their aggression, because I am an aggressive person, into serious discipline. And then, when I, quote-unquote, burn out, I don't know if I'm going to burn out ever. I have more energy every day. But my point is, I'm starting to get a little bit fed up of editing now. Like, I'm starting to not enjoy it so much because I'm doing it like 15 hours a day. So, what I need to do is I need to have complete off or complete on. Whereas you, I don't think you're ever completely off. Because when you're taking time off, you're always talking about business. Whereas me, I don't want to hear it. So I feel like we're very, 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 very different people where you will just do the same thing every day and cruise at that. And then consistently do that. But me, in order for me to like feel like I'm getting something out of life, I need to go so fucking hard, and then once I hit the brick wall, just sit down for fucking 3 days, and then get back up and do it again. I have to be sprinting. I just can't do it any slower. And I think that's, to relate this to sacrifice, I don't know what that means for you. I just know that we're very different people, and in order for me to make my point about sacrifice, I had to say that. So I feel like I have to sacrifice literally everything in one go. Like it's the only way I'll ever achieve anything. Now maybe that's not true, but it just makes me feel so good doing it this way. Because I achieve a lot. You know, I edit big projects, multiple of them every day. And I think if I spread it out and say, like, made sure I found something that was consistent or sustainable. Because I know consistency is key. But I can average that out. Like, I can average out my working hours are probably 12 hours a day every single day. The past 3 weeks I've been working every day. But I think if I had a week off and then had 3 weeks of 16 hours a day, I'd rather do that than work 10 hours a day every day. Like, that bores the life out of me because it's the same. And I've noticed this. When things become repetitive, this is why I always give up on diets. Because I can do a couple of weeks, and as soon as it becomes that cycle, I'm like, no, change. I like change. It gets me excited, you know? Having to give stuff up and having to know that they can come back in the future and then give them up again. I feel like that's going to be my whole life. It's going to be up and down like this, and I actually really enjoy it. So that's my view.
Yeah,
That's what I like in sacrifice, and that's why I think you get upset at me. Because I should say this, because you get upset at me sometimes, like, why are you asking me to be miserable? I'm like, I'm not asking you to be miserable, and this is why I'm saying it, because I don't think you understand the way I think. I'm not asking you to be miserable. I'm asking you to sacrifice everything. And if that means sleeping 3 hours, just fucking do it. But I know you don't operate like me. You're not willing to do that because you know you can't do it for very long.
Right, let me pose this to you then. Instead of trying to condense people into your way of living,
that's what I'm trying to achieve with this conversation.
Why don't you encourage them to thrive in their own way of living?
I don't know what your way of living is, because you
consistency.
No, but
all day.
No, but let me counter that. But I don't think you know what your way of living is. I really don't, because you talk about, oh, I'll get up at 5 a.m. Yeah, no problem, and then one day you'll be sleeping till 7:30. I don't think you know what you want. And I think it's a lack of discipline, and I think it leads you to not knowing what works well for you. But let me tell you what works well for everyone is trying and making the mistakes. It's like,
right, go on.
You've got to break the system a little bit to figure out where to move from.
Yeah, I'm all for making mistakes.
But I think you hold yourself just within those limitations. You don't push yourself to breaking point because that's not sustainable. Because you focus on consistency, but you don't know what you're really capable of if you don't push yourself. Do you know what I mean? You don't sacrifice enough. You're like, what can I sacrifice, and how much can I deal with? What can I, as a man, how much can I suffer before I really start to struggle? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like if you did that, you'd start to know what you can do, what you can achieve, how long you can do that for, and then you know more what's consistent. Because right now, if you stay just below discomfort or just above discomfort, so you're only a little bit uncomfortable, like, you can do that for extended periods of time. But how do you know you couldn't go even further for extended periods of time? And what's important about this is my way of sacrifice, because I'm going to keep relating this back to sacrifice. I know it sounds like we're going off, but it's not true. My way is to push so hard, whereas I don't think I'll ever go back to working less than 9 hours a day.
Good.
Because my baseline has gone up. And this is what I mean. If you continue to do the same every day, because it's consistent, you'll never be able to upskill that. So for me now, I know when I come back to baseline after Marbella, because this is monk mode for me, and I've been strict with that for 4 weeks. When I come back down, my baseline's higher. I can tolerate a lot more shit. You know, and I'm going to be completely honest, and I know this sounds pathetic, but every single night I've almost been in tears because of the stress of clients saying, I don't like this, I don't want that, change this, change that. And I'm here at 10 o'clock still editing people's work, and I'm literally like bottled it all up. It's not healthy, but it's for a short amount of time.
Bottled it up to unleash on me.
Well, look, that's your role at the moment, and I'm thankful for it.
Punch bag.
Well, look, it's for the greater good.
No, it's not. It's for your greater good.
No, it's not. I don't mean it. But not. I don't mean.
I don't mean. You're very convincing, Al, at making me feel like you mean it.
And that is one of the topics in the Be Seen Content Lab, which you can check out in the link in the description below.
You need some really funky music as well when you say stuff like that.
Sorry. Yeah.
There we are.
But any thoughts on what I've said? I'd rather you.
Yeah, I somewhat agree. Obviously,
what do you agree with?
I agree with the like finding your limitations, your breaking points.
Test yourself.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, we don't need to go into this, but
I think we can. I mean,
what I'm trying to say is the personal stuff lately.
Oh no, you don't have to talk about.
Yeah, which I'm not going to, but that obviously hasn't helped. But I think that.
Oh no, I'm putting that. I'm not talking about that.
I know.
That's like I'm putting that period of your life completely aside.
Here's how I feel. So since we went full time on the this type of business since March, we've obviously been doing things and not seeing very very many results. Now, obviously, since we became part of the Limitless program and stuff like that, we had to go through that initial slump of not having results, times being tough, whatnot, and then we came to now where things are better. I think that it's easier to sacrifice when you see results, and it's harder to sacrifice when you don't see results. But the times when you don't see results is when the sacrifice is most necessary.
I agree.
And it becomes easier to sacrifice when you see results.
We only had results really after I gave everything up. I didn't know that was going to come.
What a coincidence.
And it's just shows that had I not sacrificed what I did, would we have made any money? I wouldn't have been able to work like I've worked. I wouldn't have been able to fulfill. Who knows? Would you have even bothered selling had I not been in the game? Because I was pushing you because I was working hard. Had I been out, would you have even bothered? Would you have taken it as a win, just being alive?
Win being alive.
Do you know what
We've
I mean?
had this conversation as well, and it's true. But I think I am young in the deep work game.
Yeah, you look it as well.
Yeah, okay. But I think I am young in the deep work game, and I'm sort of trying to deprogram myself from like the comfort of being a boy and trying to step into the role of being a man, which does include
take my hand, good boy.
Which does which does include sacrifice, and it does include discipline, and it does include doing things you don't love. Now, for the viewers watching, the hardest thing for me to fucking hell, boy.
Sorry.
The hardest thing for me to sacrifice is sleep. That is the one thing that I find it incredibly hard to sacrifice.
You become a bit soft and pathetic.
I do, yeah. I cuddle up in bed and I'm like sleeping in. And it's one thing that once I know to rid myself of that, the sacrifice of sleeping. Maybe like I say once I know, as if there's some magic solution to it. You just do it. That is when I think I will find my limits and I will find what I can do. It's the sleep. It's the sleep and slight procrastination, but those two things are the only two things holding me back.
Do you think I find it any easier?
No, probably not. You just probably have more discipline than I do in that area.
It doesn't mean you have to sleep 4 or 5 hours a night. So I think there's a misconception that both of us has had that in order to be successful, you have to sacrifice key elements of health.
Yeah, because you've got, on one hand, you've got like the Andrew Tate school of thought, where it's like, minus 1 minute sleep, push-ups, but then you've got
Tate does not sleep minus 1 minute.
No, I know, but then you've got Iman Gadji then on the other hand, who says the way to be a millionaire is get 9 hours of sleep.
This is my point.
So it's like, who do you believe?
This is my point. You don't know what works for you because you keep changing your fucking mind.
1 minute I'm Andrew Tate, the next
1 minute you're Andrew Tate, the next minute you're sleeping until 7, saying, do you know what's going to work for me? Getting up at 11 a.m. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, like I've done my day's work by then.
Yeah.
I think you just need to figure it out, and this is what I'm trying to say. You might only figure out what works by process of elimination.
That's what I'm thinking now.
Eliminate certain things. Start sacrificing. Sacrificing sleep. So for the next week, only sleep 5 hours, and then see what happens. 6 hours then. Maybe I put 6 as a minimum.
Or 12.
Well, why?
No, I'm only joking. But no, I need to try stuff, and I think that.
Yeah, you stay in an area of familiarity.
Yeah.
I'll finish with this. I'll let you jump in because I've said a lot.
Having people that guide you who have been through it helps as well. And I think that I don't want to bang on about Marbella on this, but I think going to Marbella, I think my thing with going to Marbella is going to help because it's going to show me, what Josh does.
I think that's kind of the idea as well, is that we get to see. I think it's the same with me though. I mean, I'm definitely not settled, and it has only been a month, but I think for somebody like me who couldn't even do 3 days,
I know you, and this is a lot different to other Alex and Otts I've seen.
It's been 8 years since I've gone this long without a drink. I am in uncharted territory. I am not just going to revert. I'm convinced of it, and the drinking we'll do in Marbella won't be the same sort of drinking. So it's like it opens up a whole new can of worms we could talk about in terms of like environment. Like, how much of that is going to play a role in how I manage things? Because there's emotional regulation, which I'm still not very good at. Hence why I'm almost crying at the end of my editing work day because of stress. Because I can't handle stress very well. However, I know exactly how much I can handle because I push myself beyond it. I let myself break. And that's one thing I want you to at least try. Not at the moment, because obviously you've had personal stuff, which you're not going to get into, but you've got to at least push yourself. Instead of go, I can't sleep 5 hours, that's bad for you. Well, how do you perform on 5 hours sleep? Do it. And do it for a couple of days. That's not necessarily the main thing. Sleep isn't the one thing I want you to sacrifice. The only thing that I think it's not necessarily a sacrifice, but it's when you say you're going to get up at a certain time and then don't. And then I know you've snoozed. Because you did say you're going to be at the gym at 6 a.m. today. And if you are unaware of that, then you'd forgotten because we confirmed it twice yesterday. And you weren't there. And there's been multiple times where that's happened.
Vice versa too.
Yeah, but I'm different now. And you can laugh if you want.
Yeah,
I can look you dead in the eye and say, I will never, ever, ever go back on my word again because I just know. It's different. I don't give a fuck what the people think because it's just me now. I know for the first time ever when I say that I mean it. Whereas before, I couldn't even persuade myself of that.
Mm.
I know now. And to be honest, I don't really care what anybody else thinks.
It's not about anyone else, it's about you.
Yeah, I know now. And that's why I feel so good because I know that I have the ability to sacrifice whatever needs to be sacrificed.
Yeah, if you can sacrifice things that are, you hold that mean a lot to you, then sacrificing other things isn't really hard. I think.
Yeah, but I know the process now, whereas I've never done it before.
Yeah, I think you got to find out what you want as well, because once you find out what you want, it kind of boils down really.
I don't think I'd have done it if you weren't gonna. I know Tamabe, yeah, which just brings back the point. Like, go hard in pursuit of rest. So it's like I'm chasing comfort, and the more discomfort that I go through, the quicker the comfort comes. And that's the way I'm thinking. It's almost like, right, more. The more I do, the closer I get to that comfort, and the more comfortable it will be. Any comfort I choose, like if I was sat there earlier, I was so tired, I was almost falling asleep. It was like 9 a.m. And I was sat there, I was like, fuck, it's gonna be a long day. And then I thought, no.
Not having this.
No, because this is comfort. And the more comfort, the more time I spend comfortable, the more problems we're going to have. There are going to be issues.
Yeah.
No, there are going to be issues. And that means I'm going to either have to delay. This is why I'm like, can't we just move quicker? Because anytime you're trying to achieve balance, like right now is not the time. Right now is the time to be excited by relentless work.
Yeah, pursuit.
And the only thing that upsets me is that I don't know what you're willing to sacrifice because I don't think you know.
No, I don't.
So between us, we need to understand, and I think this will help us a lot. You understanding yourself and what you can do and what you want and how you want to work, instead of being so impressionable that you just try to be other people, knowing that that's not you. And I think it's causing conflict between us because you're going back on your word. Because I'm going to do this, and then just throw it back in other people's faces saying, I can't be asked now. You need to decide what your strategy is going to be. And I think I understand now what mine's going to be. And it might change, probably as I get older. But right now, it's relentless work, 16 hours a day, every day. And then a big rest. 4 or 5 days maybe.
But that sounds good to me as well, because it's like when you go hard on a diet, like I've been on diets before, and you've gone hard at it, and then you have that cheat meal and it tastes fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, or what you could do is have 2,200 calories every day and lose the weight over 3 months instead of 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to go into a deep cut? I know with nutrition it's a little bit different, but it's probably not actually. It probably still has the same messages, because if you go deep into it, you lose a lot of muscle as well. So like I might lose a lot of effectiveness in business by going so hard and so quickly with such little sleep. I'm not quite as sharp. Like right now, I'm a little bit snappy.
Sharper but faster. Not as sharp but faster. Sorry.
If you want to go fast, go hard. If you want to go far, go slower.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I feel like you're just focusing on the going far, but a part of me truly believes that part of that is that you're not willing to make some sacrifices which would be necessary in order to go faster. I think you're getting stuck thinking, I'm not willing to make any more sacrifices. It's not worth it. I don't know if that's the case. I'm trying to probe you with some questions, because these are the things that's got 2 minutes again. I feel like I want to keep going.
Yeah, so do I. Fucking right, so I want to keep going. Let's go.
Well, I don't know what to do then.
There's another SD card there as well. I'll grab that
Alright.
now.
This is going to be an edited nightmare. Can you put the SD cards on the table? The ones you used? Because I think I'm going to try this for extended periods of time.
Well,
Go in and out of
sprints and
sprints.
bursts.
Yeah, intervals.
Interval
It's like-
training.
it is interval training.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna really, really wear myself out and then recover and then go again.
But then part of me is realizing as well that like we're not even a year in.
Yeah, but I mean, I know you can think like that.
Like this is how I like to think, right? I like to think I'm literally not even a year in to my proper entrepreneurial journey. Like
But that's just an excuse for you to go slowly.
I know. Well, no,
It is.
Well, no, but this is my way of thinking, right? Is it like I'm a year in? I'm making all these mistakes now. Good. I'm not gonna make them down the road.
Make them faster, please.
So I'm happy, always happy to make mistakes because I realize that it's event, response, outcome. Event is making the mistake, response is how I improve, and then the outcome is how I improve with that. It's the same with analytics, analyzing sales,
Yeah, you got to
analyzing these.
But the more you push yourself, the more mistakes you make.
And yeah, I agree. That's what I'm trying to say. And then Stephen Bartlett even said, "That's how you win. You win by losing. Whoever loses and responds fastest
No,
wins."
it's not even about that. It's like who can break the quickest. Like they say, I think I saw Elliot Wise put a read up about this. That when you can deliberately break your business by overloading it, and then you figure out where the weak points are. That's what I'm doing to myself. I'm pushing myself through it to feel the inflammation. So physically, BJJ every day, you start to feel knees. That's where right knee. That's the problem. You start to feel inflammation come to the surface. I'm doing that in business. What am I shit at? The thing I thought was best, time management run an organization. My biggest weaknesses I've noticed. I thought they were good, and it's only this week I've noticed they're not good. I wouldn't have known that had I not been having to do this. I've been all over the shop. I didn't know until I pushed myself beyond what I was capable of.
You got to bomb the buildings to find out who's got the best structure. That's all I can think about now.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I had to find where are the weak points in my life. What needs work? What also needs work is keeping calm under duress.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at that.
No.
I'll start swinging.
I don't know if I am. I can't think of a time I've been.
I think you
duressed.
avoid duress. I think you avoid
Potentially.
the suffering in the first place.
I'd like to think I am quite calm under certain
Well,
situations.
I think you're more so than I am.
Because I've had situations that
because you've been through it and you know what you're capable of. Your baseline is higher.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So find your new baseline.
No, it's not find the baseline.
Set the new baseline.
No, you just push yourself as hard as possible. You push harder than last time, and then the baseline increases naturally. I don't know where to. So when I come back down, I don't know whether I'm going to come back down to the same place or higher, or how much higher. I don't know what I'm going to be capable of when I'm come back from Marbella and then ease back into it. I'm not going to go 100 miles an hour after that because I'm starting to not enjoy the days, but I'm not enjoying the work because I'm not present. I'm tired, but I'm enjoying the challenge. A lot of people are going to listen to this and think, "Fucking this."
Shut
guy."
the fuck up, probably.
But you know what? Fuck, I don't care.
But then the people who are going to listen to this and relate to it are the sort of people that we want
I'm
to
just
relate
giving
to
it a go, right? I'm just trying to find out what I can do. And as a man, what else have I got than
There's nothing
my
wrong with
willpower? And I've got to. Like, I'm just so... I just feel this hunger now. Like, I need to go as quickly as possible. And I know for a fact, and this is what I was trying to tell you, is like, you got to at least outwork the 9 to 5s. Like, what the fuck you doing if you're in the gym when people are working? Like, you should be up before everyone, sleeping after everyone, and then working longer than everyone. And if you can't say you're doing that, then you're at least not outworking the brokies. Do you know what I mean? You're not outworking the people who are lazy, who don't even want anything with their lives. The people who just drag their feet every day.
The same olds.
If you want to achieve greatness, you're going to have to at least outwork them. This is my belief. And I know for a fact, though, and that's why I feel so good, I know that I'm working at a level that majority of people are not capable of. I think people would fold and give up. And that's why I enjoy it, because I feel like I'm excelling now. I'm becoming a 1% man. I can't label myself as that because I haven't done it for long enough. But I'm becoming it. I'm much quicker than I would if I was doing what I was doing before.
Not sacrificing.
I've sacrificed everything. And that's the best I've ever felt, despite the sleep deprivation.
But it is good because you can sacrifice things and you can reap the rewards quite quickly if you just be consistent with it.
We didn't start making a penny until I stopped drinking. In reality.
Yeah.
Because it was just slow burning. As soon as I stopped drinking. But it was you that closed the people. But just remember that as soon as I started getting my head in the game, you leveled up. Because what I do has an effect on you.
And vice versa.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at the point now where I'm like, I'm getting no more motivation from you. Because I'm outworking you on a daily basis. So I'm like, well, what? And I'm not expecting you to match me in terms of hours. We have different roles. But I'm thinking, well, what's he giving me that's pushing me forward? I think it's your duty to propel me forward.
It's healthy competition as men.
It's not a competition between us. It's
healthy competition.
I need somebody building a wall behind me, pushing me forward. I could easily work 3 hours less a day and still feel like I'm outworking everyone. But I need there to be people around me that are making me feel like I need to do more. Instead of making me feel like I'm doing way too much. I feel like I'm working too hard because everyone around me is working so much less than me.
But then if everyone was working the same as you, you'd feel you want to work more.
That's the point.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And that's why it's hard for me to understand the way you work, because I just don't understand why. Because if it was me and you were working like I was for the hours that I am, I would immediately match that. I'd feel I'd have to, because that's just the way I operate. I'd have to work the same. Even if I was doing nothing, I'd have to at least fucking do it. It just feels right. So I feel like if I can only assume you think the same way I do, and then by extension of that, I can only assume that you just don't want to. But I'm assuming that isn't true. So it's hard for me to understand what goes on in your head when you see me like sacrificing literally everything, working till I can't work anymore. Like, I don't know. And then like outreaching to like 4 people. I just don't understand like your way of working. And why I don't know. I feel like you're not motivated by seeing me work hard. You're just staying in your own lane. But why? We're in one lane, but I'm ahead of you.
I don't know. I don't understand it, which is.
But that must mean there's something deeper going on, and you're just not understanding what's going on. But you need to be present, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Be present in everything I do. But you're like diagnosing
I'm
me.
trying to, because I need to understand it. I can't continue with. We need to be aligned. See. If I feel like we're not aligned, and it's because partly I don't know. I don't feel. I mean, I could be wrong. These are what I feel, right? So I could be wrong, but I feel like you're not making anywhere near the same sacrifices I am at the moment, and that doesn't make me feel very good.
Okay, but
I don't necessarily know if it's true.
But what could I sacrifice? Right, I don't really want to get into your sacrifices because I don't really want to talk about details of it. But what could I sacrifice to match that degree of sacrifice? Because you talk about the degree of sacrifice, like. You said if it doesn't mean a lot to you and you're not giving it up, it's not sacrifice. It's just not doing it. Like me give it like if
sacrifice procrastination, because if I'm doing 12 hours of deep work with regards to sales, you could outreach to a lot of people. For being honest, it could be a lot. It's hard for me to understand what it is you get. It's not. It's hard for me to like communicate this because it seems like I'm just doubting you, but it's not true. I'm just wondering. It's hard. I don't know. It's hard for me to communicate what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Because I just don't feel like you're making the same sacrifices, and also pushing yourself. I feel like you you found something that kind of works, and as long as somebody's closed, it's okay. But I feel like you're happy with where we're at instead of wanting to push forward. I think I miss that element of appreciation of where we've come, which you have, but I'm hungry for the future. I feel like you're just happy where we're at, and then doesn't matter how long it takes for us to go forward, which might be a healthier way to think about it, but I don't understand it, you know? I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you have a lot more capacity of work left that could push us so much further.
Definitely do.
And it's not that I'm trying to suppress, I don't know, it's not that I'm trying to manage your work. I just know for a fact if you were working effectively, like I feel like I am, there'd be more than a few people on your outreach list. And that just feels like an obvious conclusion. And what the question that comes to me then is, well, why, despite how much he's enjoying this process and how much he wants to go forward, is he not at least motivated to do that, to push further every day?
Yeah, well, it's hard to answer this without context. And obviously, my motivation was kind of disrupted. Quite a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Because if we think to the period of success where we're striving forward, that got abruptly put an end to, we'll say, for external factors. So it was kind of hard to push on from that. And now I'm restarting the engine and getting back to where I was.
No, I know that. I'm not really referring to... I'm referring to it more long term, you know?
Because, you know, seeing progression makes me happy. And the thought of further progression makes me, you know, excited, and the chance of fulfillment. Because achieving things and achieving in sales especially is I don't know if I'm correct in saying this because I've not experienced enough, but it seems to be a contrast to it's either incredibly shit or incredibly good. Someone more experienced in sales is probably going to have to tell me this. But when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. And that's like the same as business, as being as an entrepreneur. When it's great, it's fantastic. But when it's shit, it's shit. So I feel like that's where I am at the minute, and I'm trying to get to the good side of things whilst restarting the engine and actually progressing up.
Well, yeah, but until you work, you won't get back on the good side.
No, I agree. But I'm back working now. I'm back getting to it, which is the main thing.
I think, to be honest, I think we just need to find alignment. Because the way we work is so different. You're happy to go slow. I refuse to go slow. We need to find some middle ground. Otherwise, we won't be able to work in alignment. That's I suppose there's a little bit of animosity that's also still there.
It's a challenge, though, and I like it. I like the
Yeah,
thought
but
of it.
I think it's part of it's on me, my mindset. But there's still a little bit of bitterness knowing that I haven't got the luxury of being able to have time off. Because every single one of our clients leaves because I have deadlines. I have no choice. I have to work every day. I can't act on my feelings. And it's helpful because it forces me to be disciplined.
But then put it like this then. Maybe that's what you needed. Maybe that's the circumstances that you needed in order to break your habits. Because like if you say...
No? We still had deadlines before.
But they weren't as hard. And they weren't as meaningful.
We started getting more clients, which required more discipline after the sacrifice.
Okay.
We had like 2 clients before I stopped.
Okay, but then you could put it into perspective that you made the sacrifice, and then us acquiring more clients cemented that the fact that the sacrifice needed to be made, and you couldn't go back before it, if you know what I'm trying to say.
The sacrifice didn't come after the pressure.
No. Sacrifice first. Pressure.
That's what I mean.
Pressure to maintain it after.
The deadlines wasn't what I needed. The sacrifice led to the success, in my opinion. And then the discipline that's come now
Okay, but then
is forcing that to continue.
yeah, but then you could also look at it as us being a 4-wheel car, and I'm the front 2 tires, and you're the back 2, and
No, you're the piece of shit on the tire.
yeah, okay, cool.
Been
But
fed round.
you were the back 2 tires, and I was the front 2 tires, and like the
So is
accelerator
this rear wheel drive?
and the accelerator and the brake that you like to talk about. You were
Yeah,
you
so
were.
BC in Clwb, and it's an 812 super fast.
I'm the accelerator, and Alex is the brake.
And that's what annoys me, because I'm ready to put foot to the floor, and you're just saying, no, it's all right, just leave me alone, we'll be all right now. And I feel like you're just cruising, and I'm like, why? Let's fucking go on, and then you don't, and you're just like, no, we'll just pick it up slowly, because that is where you're at, and that's a strategy, but I feel like I could blow everyone out of the water in like 6 months. And we can't at your pace. And I think we need to find something that works for both of us, I think. We need to find the level of sacrifice that's going to work for both of us.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to keep working like this for both of us if you don't match that.
Sustained sacrifice is what I want. Something like
Why? I don't want to sacrifice all the time. That's boring. Then you've got to give stuff up you want all the time. So you're constantly sacrificing. But this is what I mean. We don't think the same. We've got to start talking. Do you know what I mean? We've got to start figuring out what...
You've got to stop shouting.
I'll never happen. I'm sorry. This is what you signed up for now. You've got a genius. He's a fucking... Yeah.
Knob.
Yeah, I'm a cunt. I don't give a fuck. So what? What, you want me to be all soft and fluffy? Fuck you.
You literally bent over and sprinkles came out just now. I don't know if that's appropriate to keep in.
No, but that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to anyone else, but
Staying in.
it makes all the
Shut the
sense to
fuck
me.
up.
What are we on? We've got to be over an hour now, is it?
57 minutes.
Yeah, we'll cap this off. This has been our epic return. Alex making it all about him.
It is all about me. I come up with the best conversation. You just kind of like, you're my yes man these days in the podcast.
Fuck.
Well, it's kind of true, isn't it?
Not really.
Well, I come up with juice and then you just respond.
Yeah, because I always get things started. I get the ball moving. If you got the ball moving, because it's basically because I'm starting, I'm basically you're a guest and I'm just interviewing you. So if the format change,
It doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, but if the format,
No, because you continue with that all the way through. You could just switch it up straight away.
yeah, because I don't interrupt you. That's why.
Interrupt me.
Yes, I know, but it's difficult to cut in with you sometimes.
You got to do it though.
Yeah, no, but I can't just go, Alex, shut the fuck up
Yes, you can.
and talk to you. I don't know if that would be.
I think you should.
I don't know if that would be
I
appropriate.
won't let you
for
in
the viewers.
otherwise. I'm not. I don't think like I don't know you're waiting to get in. I just fucking talk. I'm passionate, and it manifests as aggression. And if you don't match that aggression, I won't stop. You can't say like raising your hand like a timid geek. It's not going to work.
Yeah, no, I just think if we change the format, if you opened and then
Yeah, but I won't let you in then. It'd be like a fucking pro pool match where you just fucking clear up the table.
you break and get a 147, and
Yeah, exactly.
and
That's
drink 'em
snooker,
water.
by the way, not pool, but yeah, there we are. I appreciate the reference.
It's all good, but yeah, I don't know. We're back anyway.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I don't think anyone's listening at this point anyway. I think they're like, Alex is a cunt, I'm not listening anymore.
well, they've missed out on greatness then, haven't they, brother?
Yeah, they have.
But to be fair, we've got quite a few things planned. A couple of exciting podcasts coming up, potentially.
Oh, we can get the planner out now. Oh, it's fucking like midnight now, isn't it? Oh, it's got about 11.
Potentially some exciting podcasts coming out. You never know who we might run into in Marbella.
Nobody likes us. We're never going to be successful.
Shut up, you bitch.
Don't call me a bitch, mister. I'm struggling with sleep at the moment. Fucking pussy. He'd probably have a nap in his car now before driving home.
Oh my god.
On the way to Krispy Kreme, or whatever
my
they call them these days.
What an idea. I'm leaning on you, brother, please. Quit that shit.
Quit what? I quit everything. There's nothing else to quit.
Quit Krispy Kremes. But no, I'm going to fill in my annual leave now and then I'm going to go home. But it's been alright episode, actually, to be fair. It's a bit of a...
It's been rubbish. I've
bit
not
of a
been in the headspace for conversation.
Okay. Bit of a slow starter, but once the fire got lit, it ignited and it burned quite hot. Regular podcast now, or just once every other
No,
month?
that's it. That we're back now. Look, I get shit done. So it'll get done.
Who's next then? Who's going to be next in the podcast? What's your prediction? I'm going to see how it plays out.
Well, as in a guest. I reckon Jack Vickers. I reckon we'll get him on next week.
Okay, that's interesting. After him?
Josh Dexter.
Okay. After Josh. What do you reckon? Give me our next 4 guests.
Jack,
Josh.
Jesse Meester.
Anyone else? You don't know.
Rob Lipsett.
Yeah.
Elliot Wise.
Could be a good
That's
one.
my prediction.
Yeah.
Jack, Josh,
There's
Jess,
5 there.
Rob, Elliot.
That's 5. Oh, Ed.
No, Ed. Ed will come before Josh. Jack, Ed, Josh, Jesse,
Rob, Elliot.
Rob, Elliot. That'll get Clwb back on flying. And then Flex Lewis.
Fuck! that's such a good list.
So, there's only one thing left to do.
Ask me mine.
Oh, go on then, quick. I've said mine now, so it's so much easier for you to be able to work.
Potentially Jack. Potentially Jack.
You're just going to copy me now.
No. Potentially Jack, Dr. Ed, potentially. Josh Dexter, 100% confirmed. Jesse Meester.
This is your prediction. So this is your prediction. It's not potential. This is what you're saying
Yeah,
is going to happen.
so I'm not too sure about Jack.
Stop saying that.
not too
Fucking
sure.
predict. What are you saying? Make a decision.
Dr. Ed, Josh Dexter, Jesse Meester, Rob Lipsett.
Jeffree Star.
Where are we? Andy Keeler, part 2.
Mm.
I'm going to go number 6. Number 6. Elliot Wise. Number 7. What's that going to be? Brett Johns.